Hello YouTubers, welcome to my messy shop. I've been picking away at this engine. I've been working on the heads. And I got a plan. So here's one of the heads almost finished. Yep, the dogs. Alright, take two. So the head, I've got some valves going on. These are stainless steel valves. They are in a stainless steel guide. And this is a spark plug. And here's the bottom side. I still got to clean up the valve a little bit right there where the tailstock mushroomed the center hole out a little bit, but other than that, these are good to go. There's my spark plug, the bottom of that. And once I get my cylinders bored, I'll put a step on this, a circled step, where this will slip down into the cylinder, maybe a 16th or an 1/8. The nuts on here are basically just a washer to hold the spring. And there's a little C-clip there. It's not focusing very well, but anyways, there's a C-clip. That's what's holding the valve in place. So here's how I made my valves. And as you can see, these are stainless steel bolts. And I start by putting them, in my 3-jaw chuck up tight, and I just hog that out really quick and get my center hole there and a nice face. Kind of like a factory process, I just pump them out. And then after that, I have to pull this out of my chuck and hold it like that. The tailstock on this end, and we machine it into one of these. This was a mistake. I fell asleep at the wheel and got the diameter too small. This was another mistake because I didn't make my center hole deep enough, so my tailstock was not riding on the outer perimeter of the hole. It was weeble warbing on the center. And once I pull it out of the chuck, this is no longer true. There's no way to make that true with the stem anymore. So it's pretty much junk. But yeah, the goal is to machine the face and the stem at the same time, because that way they are true with each other. The valve guides. Here's what the valve guide looks like. It was a 1/2-inch bolt. And it got machined like so. These are stainless. Although this one is steel, I just practiced on this, just soft steel. And but once I figured it out, I went and got some stainless bolts and I did it out of that. But anyways, this is what it looks like going into the head. Like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Here's a hole in the middle. There's where the stem goes, you see, up in there. And this is hollowed out. This was a mistake because my bore right here is too big, and it's the wall in the valley of the thread is just too thin. I don't want to break it off inside the head. So I made another one. This has the proper bore, so I have plenty of meat in the valley of the thread. And that stem goes up in through there, yada yada. I machined a flat spot to 7/16 so that I can grab it with a wrench and get it in the head. So here I have a car battery. I've got a Ford coil, and I'm hooked up to my spark plug, and I want to show you guys what's up. So I'm just going to take this hot wire and I'm going to flick it across. That's what's going on there. but I want you guys to watch the spark plug. That is a nice spark. Very consistent. So it took me a good year to figure this spark plug deal out. I've been designing this engine for about a year now, and I've made many drawings and really planned these heads out, but I had a hard time trying to figure out where to put the spark plug. So we have some basic small plugs. I think this is out of a chainsaw. This came out of one of my model engines. It's the smallest spark plug I could find. It's the NGK. But the problem with this is the depth. So when I put that plug there, it won't reach into the cylinder. So if I bore this big enough to reach into the cylinder, there's not enough room for everybody to live inside the cylinder. So the valves are too big, and what happens is the socket on this plug is too big, and there's no room to get all this stuff in there. I could try angling the plug. I don't really like doing that, and really bore it down in there. But then I run into the problem of my intake port. So, let me show you. My intake port is going to go right here, and it's go right into that valve guide. And it needs to be between this bore and this bore. So in order to get even the smallest spark plug in there, it's going to obviously cut into my port. So I found, through some research, I found only 3 videos online that show anything about making a spark plug. And one of them is from Tinker John, and the other is from Dirty Garage Guy. And there is a third video, but the guy's speaking Indian, and I have no idea what he's saying. I kind of robbed a little of Tinker John's and Dirty Garage Guy's spark plugs, and I combined the two. Alright, so here is the machined part of the spark plug. Focus. God damn it. Anyways, I started with a 1/2 inch dowel. I needed the shoulder right here, and that shoulder is what lands flat on the head and seals it. It'll have a copper gasket or maybe an O-ring, I'm not sure which yet, and that'll drop in there. So I machined a 5/16 hex on there using my mill and my indexer, and I did that on this dowel like so. And as you can see, I did it like that. I was able to get 2 parts out of one machining process there. And then we put the old die on there, and we cut the thread on the lathe after we bored the center hole. The insulator on this spark plug is silicone. And I'll show you a really cool thing about silicone. Let's just set that right up there like so. Watch this, folks. It doesn't burn and it doesn't melt. Ooh, a little warm, but not squishy. It's just the same as it was. It's like some weird alien stuff. Pretty cool. Anyways, that's the insulator. And it will get glued in with some JB Weld or fire caulk. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. I got to do some research on the fire caulk and see what the temperature is on that. The conductor is a welding rod, and I just cleaned the flux off from it with a wire brush and shoved it down in there. These three parts fit together really snug, so it takes a little effort to push that silicone in. It's a nice tight fit, and I think with the fire caulk or the JB Weld, it's going to hold in there just nice. When I finalize this head and I'm ready to bore my intake and exhaust ports, my valve guides will also get glued in place to seal it and just to keep any vibration from causing it to come loose. So I got some work to do here. I still got to make 4 more valves. I got to put together these 3 spark plugs. And then I'm ready to start making cylinders. So anyways, I hope this spark plug idea might illuminate some minds out there and know that you can make your own spark plug pretty easy. Well, I'll keep you posted on this engine. Thanks for watching.